And you know, we can teach our young kids a lot of things. But the one thing that we should be teaching them most is about God. And so David makes a comparison between a godly life and a sinful life. A faithful walk and a faithless walk. A spiritual soul compared to a carnal soul. And so to make the long story short, the person that decides to try it God's way has a much better future in store for them than those who decide to live a life of sin and rebellion before God. Don't get mad at me. I didn't say it. David said it, and I believe what David said, so you might as well ride with me on this train. The soul that lives to honor God will be blessed, but the soul that lives to mock God will be cursed, and destruction awaits them in the end. Look at somebody and tell them his way is what's best for me, and his will is what's best for me. Now sometimes, even when we strive to do the right thing, life will still throw you a curveball. But I've even often heard it stated that I had it better when I was in the world doing it my way than I do in the church trying to do it God's way. But that's an illusion. You need to hear what I'm saying. That is an illusion that tempts you to stay in sin rather than to trust in God. Because whether you're in the world or in the church, you're going through. You just keep living long enough and you will go through. So to believe that I had it better in the world because I could sell some dope, or I had it better in the world because when times got tight, I could sell my body, or I believe that I had it better in the world because I can break into any house or any building that I want to get into. If you think you had it better out there than you do in here, you are setting yourself up for a destructive end. So that's an illusion that tempts us to stay in sin rather than to trust in God, which brings me to the point. I know you in church. I know you really trying. I know you going through. But this brings me to the first point. God sees your plight. God knows your plight. He knows what you're going through. That's right. Although hard times have the tendency of making us feel all alone as if we are all by ourselves, we need to understand that God will never leave us nor forsake us. You are not by yourself. That is just an illusion, a trick of the devil. For right here in verse 15 it says that the eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry, which means, number one, that God does not have vision problems. Do you hear what I'm saying? And neither does he have a hearing problem. He knows your plight. He sees what you're going through. You know why? Because God is an all-seeing God. He doesn't miss a beat. He sees and he knows. Touch your neighbor and tell him he sees you. And although we act as if God turns a blind eye to the things that we do and even the things that we say, the text declares that that his eye is upon you. Oh, you gotta catch that. Pastor might not see you, but God sees everything you're doing. Reverend Moore might not know what you're doing behind closed doors, but God knows what you're doing behind closed doors. He doesn't turn a blind eye because you his. He's peeking in on you. Y'all need to think about that for a minute. He does not turn a blind eye to the things that we do. And like David said, his eyes upon you, whether you are righteous or unrighteous. His eyes are in every place, beholding evil and the good. You see, not only is God all-seeing, but he is also omniscient, which is a theological term that refers to God's superior knowledge and wisdom. In layman's term, it means that God is all-knowing. Right. Do you hear what I'm saying? He is all-knowing. He knows our ups and he knows our downs. He knows our comings and he knows our goings. He knows our ins and he knows our outs. shouts. He doesn't miss a beat. Therefore, he knows our plight. He sees the problem. He has an eye on the situation, which means not only does he see the tears that fall down from your face, but he hears your cries of affliction. Now, God knows the problem.
Preach.
The good news is that he knows how to fix it. He knows that you're down, but he also knows how to pick you up. He knows you're hurt, but he also knows how to heal. He knows your pain, but he also knows how to comfort, and he will wipe every tear from your weeping eyes. Somebody said that weeping may endure for a night, but joy, it comes in the morning. And I stopped by to tell somebody today that he hears your prayers. Your words are not ignored because you are one of his. That is, if you are among the righteous. That is, if you are among the righteous. Now, David was talking about the righteous being those that followed God's law and kept his commandments, but that's not the righteousness that I'm talking about, because according to the law, there is no one righteous. No. That's right. So there's not one of us righteous. The only one